The story of the Celtic wolf does not begin in legend, nor in stone, nor in the pages of ancient manuscripts. It begins in the forest, a wild, breathing world of shadow and sound, where the air carried the scent of rain and the earth trembled beneath the thunder of hooves. Long before the Celts carved spirals into stones or forged iron for battle, they walked these forests, watching the wolves that ruled them. And in those wolves, they saw something that mirrored themselves. The wolf was not just a predator. It was a presence, a silent, confident force that moved with purpose. The Celts saw how wolves hunted not alone, but as one mind, one body, one pack. They saw how a wolf could vanish into the trees like a ghost, then reappear with the precision of instinct and fate. The wolf knew the land, respected its laws, understood its rhythms, and in a world governed by nature, the Celts came to believe that any creature that could survive so elegantly must be a guide of something deeper. The wolf became a symbol of the unknown, of the hidden paths between the world of the living and the world of the spirit. In the flickering glow of firelight, the Celts told stories of wolves who walked between these realms, guiding warriors through darkness or warning them of danger yet unseen. When a wolf crossed a traveler's path, it was not a threat. It was a message. Something was coming. Something was shifting. To ignore the wolf was to ignore destiny itself. In the oldest stories, the wolf is more than an animal. It is transformation. The Celts believed that every person walked a path filled with trials, tests of strength, loyalty, and identity. The wolf represented the moment when a person faced the wildness inside themselves, the moment they chose not fear, but clarity. It was said that a warrior seeking truth might venture into the forest alone, fasting until visions blurred into reality. If the warrior was ready, a wolf would appear. If the wolf met their gaze without fear, the warrior's spirit was marked. They returned to their tribe changed, stronger, wiser, closer to the other world. But even outside myth, the wolf shaped Celtic life. Clans studied wolf behavior as models of unity. Wolves fought for their pack, protected their young, and stood together against the harsh winters. The Celts lived the same way. A tribe fragmented was a tribe doomed. A tribe united was a force that could weather any storm. The wolf became the heartbeat of Celtic identity, a reminder that strength was never solitary. As Celtic culture evolved, so did the image of the wolf. Warriors painted swirling patterns on their arms before battle, mimicking the lines of Celtic knotwork, believing these symbols connected them to the wolf's spirit. Some warriors wore wolf pelts, not as trophies, but as armor for the soul. A wolf's spirit wrapped around them, steadying their breath, sharpening their instincts, preparing them for the chaos ahead. And yet, the wolf was not only for warriors. Mothers told their children stories of wolf mothers who defended their cubs with fearless devotion. Elders taught lessons about patience by describing a wolf waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Hunters respected wolves for their strategic brilliance, often altering their own methods after watching wolves adapt to prey. The wolf was everywhere, carved into stone, woven into tales, etched into memory. It is in Celtic knotwork that the wolf's true symbolism becomes immortal. The Celts did not draw straight lines. They drew loops, spirals, and endless paths with no beginning or end. Life, to them, was not a straight road. It was a cycle, a woven tapestry of fate and choice. When they placed a wolf at the center of these knots, it became the guardian of the cycle, the protector of transitions. The wolf represented the courage needed to move from one phase of life to the next. But time changed the world. Empires rose, religions spread, new stories clashed with old beliefs. As forests shrank and wolves vanished from the British Isles, their physical presence dissolved into memory. Yet their spiritual presence only grew stronger. In Ireland, legends of the Fiolad survived, noble wolves who protected lost travelers and children. In Scotland and Wales, tales of wolf clans and wolf spirits persisted, reminding people of the bond between humans and the wild. Even when wolves were gone from the land, the Celtic people refused to let their stories die. The wolf became a symbol of resilience, something that endured even when the world changed around it. It became a memory of a time when nature and spirit walked hand in hand, when life was intertwined with myth, when people understood their place in the greater pattern. And as centuries passed, something remarkable happened. The wolf moved from myth to art, and from art to legacy. When Celtic craftsmen carved wolves into stone or illuminated them in manuscripts, they were preserving not just an animal, but a worldview, a symbol of guidance, unity, courage, and transformation. This is the point where the story of the Celtic wolf begins to merge with the modern world, where ancient symbolism becomes something you can hold in your hand. Today, Celtic wolf rings are more than jewelry. They are the evolution of thousands of years of myth, culture, and identity. Every line of knotwork, every curve of the wolf's face, every shadow carved into metal carries the echoes of the past. When a ring designer sits down to create a Celtic wolf piece, they are tapping into the same symbolic language carved by ancient hands. Some rings show wolves rising from intricate knots, their forms emerging like spirits stepping through the veil. Others show wolves framed by spirals, symbolizing rebirth and eternal paths. Some rings feature twin wolves, representing balance, partnership, and the duality of human nature. And some display a lone wolf, staring forward with fierce clarity, the embodiment of personal strength and transformation. Spirits and symbols move through the design. The choice of metal deepens the symbolism. Tungsten, with its incredible durability, reflects the wolf's resilience. It rarely bends, rarely scratches, and rarely breaks. It becomes a perfect canvas for a symbol that has survived thousands of years. Silver mirrors moonlight, the eternal companion of wolves. Darkened engravings echo the forest shadows where wolves once hunted. Every decision in the design process becomes a tribute to the ancient world. When someone wears a Celtic wolf ring, it is rarely just about appearance. It is about identity, about strength during a difficult season, about loyalty to a chosen family, about the courage to face the unknown, about honoring ancestry, or about embracing the part of themselves that refuses to be tamed. In a fast-paced world of noise and distraction, the ring becomes a quiet reminder of something older, something truer. It reminds the wearer to trust their instincts, to move with purpose, to defend what matters, to walk with courage through the chapters of life that feel like forests filled with shadows. In that sense, the Celtic wolf has never disappeared. It has simply changed form, moving from forest to story, from story to symbol, from symbol to the metal rings wrapped around modern hands. It walks with us still, guiding those who understand its message. The Celtic wolf's endurance is not an accident of history. It survived because it represented the very qualities that every generation must rediscover. Strength in the moments that demand courage. Instinct in the moments clouded by doubt. Loyalty in the moments when the world pulls us apart. Transformation in the moments that redefine who we are. As the medieval world shifted and the old Celtic kingdoms fractured, the wolf took on an even greater symbolic role. It became a reminder of everything people were trying to hold on to: identity, heritage, and the spiritual bonds that connected them to the land. When wolves vanished from the highlands and valleys, their absence became a wound in the landscape. Yet in that emptiness, the wolf's spiritual form grew larger, becoming a creature not of the earth but of memory. Those memories traveled through songs, carvings, and whispered tales. Some spoke of wolves as protectors, watching the borders of sacred sites. Others told of wolf spirits that appeared during storms, guiding lost shepherds back to safety. There were stories of clans who claimed the wolf as their spiritual ancestor, their totem, their guardian, their emblem. To these people, the wolf was not gone. It had simply stepped into a realm where it could not be hunted anymore. These legends shaped Celtic art in ways that still captivate the modern world. Look closely at ancient stone carvings, and you will see wolves intertwined with endless loops, mirrors of eternity. On illuminated manuscripts, you will find wolves woven between sacred letters, guardians of wisdom and knowledge. In old family crests, wolves stand proudly, their bodies stretching into curling designs that look more like energy than flesh. The wolf was not only a subject of art, it was a vessel for meaning. Fast forward to the present, and you can see the same lines, the same curves, the same symbolism, now engraved into rings worn on the hands of people living thousands of years removed from the forests where the Celts first learned from the wolf. These rings are more than heirlooms. They are time capsules containing a message that survived conquests, migrations, cultural shifts, and the fading of ancient languages. Modern Celtic wolf rings often begin as sketches, inspired by artifacts pulled from museums or ruins. Designers study the geometry of Celtic knotwork, the flow of lines that represent life's interconnectedness. Then they merge these lines with the clean, angular features of the wolf: eyes sharp, snout elongated, fur stylized into patterns that echo ancient spirals. It is a delicate balance, honoring the past while making something for the present. When metal meets design, the symbolism sharpens. Tungsten rings create a sense of permanence, echoing the way the wolf persists through history. Silver rings shimmer with the glow of moonlit nights, capturing the mystique of wolves howling into the unknown. Blackened rings use shadow to highlight the wolf's expression, giving the design a depth that feels alive. Every curve, every notch, every line reflects centuries of belief refined into a symbol you can hold. People who choose Celtic wolf rings often do so at pivotal moments in their lives. A man overcoming hardship might choose a wolf ring as a reminder of the strength he found when he needed it most. A woman embracing her independence might choose a lone wolf design to symbolize her journey of self-discovery. Someone rebuilding family bonds might choose a two-wolf ring, the pair locked in knotwork that symbolizes unity. A person exploring spirituality might choose a ring that blends wolf and triskelion, symbolizing a rebirth of purpose. The ring becomes not an accessory, but a companion. In a world where true meaning is often lost beneath layers of distraction, a symbol with roots as deep as the Celtic wolf can cut through the noise. It carries a sense of authenticity, something untouched by trends and untouched by time. Something primal, ancient, and grounding. The Celts believed the wolf guided the brave. Today, the wolf continues to guide those who feel called by its spirit. When a wearer looks down at the ring on their hand, they are reminded of the values embodied in the wolf's form: courage, loyalty, instinct, transformation. The ring whispers that even in chaotic moments there is a path. Even in darkness there is guidance. Even in change, there is strength. Symbolism persists because it holds truth. And the truth the Celtic wolf carries is one humanity has always needed. Survive the storm, trust your instincts, defend your pack, walk your path. The story of the Celtic wolf is the story of the human spirit. Wild, resilient, enduring. The Celtic wolf's legacy does not end in myth or artwork or the ruins of stone circles. Its story continues because every generation finds a piece of themselves in it. The Celts saw the wolf as a guide through the unknown. Today, we see the wolf in the same moments, when life shifts, when old chapters close, when new paths begin and the forest ahead feels dark, uncertain, unfamiliar. That is why the symbol refuses to fade. It remains alive because the human experience has never stopped needing what the wolf represents. In the fast pace of the modern world, where everything pulls us in 100 directions, the wolf becomes an anchor. It reminds us of instinct, the quiet voice beneath the noise. It reminds us of loyalty, not the performative loyalty of convenience, but the fierce protective loyalty of a pack. It reminds us of resilience, the ability to move forward even when the world becomes cold and unrecognizable. And above all, it reminds us of transformation. The Celts believed the wolf appeared at the turning points of a person's life. Even now, people often encounter the symbol just when they need it most. This is why Celtic wolf rings have become symbols of identity, because they carry the meaning people search for in their hardest seasons, because they merge the ancient world with the present moment, because they are small enough to wear, yet powerful enough to speak. A ring, unlike a painting or a carving, is intimate. You carry it with you everywhere. You see it in your moments of doubt. You feel it in your moments of decision. You touch it in your moments of reflection. And in each of those moments, the story of the Celtic wolf becomes a reflection of your own. For someone clawing their way out of hardship, the wolf becomes a symbol of survival. For someone stepping into leadership, the wolf becomes a symbol of responsibility. For someone rediscovering their family bonds, the wolf becomes a symbol of unity. For someone walking alone, forging their own destiny, the wolf becomes the emblem of independence and instinct. There is a reason people say certain symbols find you when it is time. To wear a Celtic wolf ring is to declare something silently to the world. Not aggression, not dominance, but depth, strength, awareness, connection. It is a declaration that you carry ancient wisdom into modern chaos, that you walk your path with intention. Understand that life is a cycle of endings, beginnings, and everything between. The artistry behind these rings honors that declaration. Master engravers carve wolves with eyes that seem to watch, and lines that flow like rivers, and the knots of ancient manuscripts. The wolf's head becomes a map of meaning, each curve echoing the movement of wind, each spiral echoing the cycles of life, each sharp angle echoing the clarity that comes in moments of truth. Some rings depict the wolf howling, calling across time, calling through the veil, calling to the part of the wearer that longs for purpose. Some depict the wolf staring forward, unafraid, unshaken, grounded. Some embed the wolf in looping knotwork, symbolizing how fate, choice, and destiny intertwine with every step a person takes. Tungsten, dense and unbreakable, mirrors the wolf's endurance. It feels like something meant to last, something meant to witness years of a person's life, something that will not wear down easily because the wolf never did. Silver reflects moonlight, the eternal companion of wolves. It shimmers with the quiet promise of guidance in the dark. Blackened metal adds contrast, revealing the wolf as it was seen in Celtic vision, half shadow, half spirit, always walking between worlds. These materials turn a symbol into a companion. Once worn, the ring becomes part of the wearer's story. People often speak of moments when they look down at their wolf ring during a hard day. Something about the design grounding them, reminding them who they are. Not because the ring is magical, but because humans place meaning into what they carry. And when the meaning is this ancient, this collective, this deeply human, it has weight. The Celts believed that symbols held spirit, that carvings could preserve energy, that knotwork could reflect the motion of the soul. Modern wearers may not phrase it the same way, but they feel it. They carry the same instinctive connection to the wolf that the Celts did. And that is the remarkable truth at the center of this story. Thousands of years separate us from the ancient Celtic world, but the wolf still speaks in a language we understand. It speaks in the quiet moments before a life-changing decision. It speaks in the fierce moments when we defend the people we love. It speaks in the lonely moments when we stand on our own. It speaks in the transformative moments when we rise again, stronger than before. The wolf never left. It simply changed forms, from forest to myth, from myth to symbol, from symbol to metal, from metal to memory, from memory to meaning, and now it walks with the people who choose to wear it. Those who feel the call of something older than themselves, something rooted in story and spirit. The Celtic wolf endures because we still need what it represents. As long as people seek strength, clarity, and connection, the wolf will remain. It will guide. It will protect. It will remind us that we are capable of surviving the winters of our lives and emerging changed, sharpened, awakened. A Celtic wolf ring is more than a design, more than heritage, more than style. It is a continuation of a story that began in the thick forests of the ancient world and now lives quietly on the hands of those who understand what the Celts learned so long ago. Walk with courage. Guard your pack. Trust your instincts. Embrace the wildness within. Honor the cycle you are part of. And never forget, the wolf never dies. It simply waits for those who are ready to follow.